This was a wild first round for the 2022 NFL Draft. The Eagles got both Jordan Davis and traded for A.J. Brown. The New York Jets got 3 top 10 prospects, with one of them falling all the way to the mid-20s, and Marquise Brown is now on the Arizona Cardinals, reunited with Kyler Murray. All of these are great franchise-changing moves, but between them, some very questionable decisions were made. In this video, I'm going to be diving deep into the worst decisions made during the first round of the 2022 NFL Draft. This was expected to be a crazy draft, and it certainly lived up to it. I love some of the moves some teams made, but there were also some really brain-dead decisions mixed in there. This list isn't in order of how bad I think the move is, it's more so just in chronological order of when it happened in the draft. And I'm sorry, but I gotta start with the Jags taking Travon Walker. Look, it's not that Walker is a bad player, but not only is Walker not the best edge in this class, he's hardly even an edge at all. He's more so a blitzing off-ball linebacker that can occasionally drop into coverage, kind of like Kyle Van Noy. But Aiden Hutchinson was without a doubt the best player in the draft, and he actually plays edge rusher. Now, Walker is an incredible athlete, and the Jags could maybe morph him into a true edge rusher. But when you have the #1 overall pick, that's expected to be a franchise-altering pick, which for me, Walker isn't, but Hutchinson was. The Falcons taking Drake London is the next awful move. Like, I understand them taking a wide receiver, that's their biggest need by far, but all of them were on the board when you took London. Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson, Jameson Williams, all of them are better than London. And not only that, but all of them are comparable to Calvin Ridley, who is most likely not going to be playing another down for the Falcons ever again. You could have gotten an easy plug-and-play replacement for Ridley that still could have been a wide receiver 1. But instead, you go and get a Pac-12 receiver that struggles to create separation. I understand that his style of play doesn't really rely on him creating separation and getting open, but more so going up and catching 50-50 passes. But you already have that with Kyle Pitts. I understand the thinking that Mariota is an inaccurate passer, so just giving him tall receivers will make his job a lot easier, but at the same time, you need to have a balanced wide receiver room, which could have happened for the Falcons had they chose J-Mo, Olave, or Wilson. But how about the Vikings trading all the way down from 12 to 32 overall? The Lions fleeced Minnesota for this pick. You have a team that wants to trade from dead last in the first round, and you get less than what some other teams got for trading back fewer positions. Like the Commanders got a second and a third to move back 5 spots. The Vikings swapped seconds and got a third. Sure, it's a fairly high second round pick and you add a third, but I think that is way too little value to move back 20 spots, especially when the Vikings could have used that pick on someone like Jameson Williams, an elite corner, or Kyle Hamilton. Plus, you allowed for a division rival to get insanely better with this pick. Now, had Minnesota used their 32nd overall pick on a corner or even someone like Malik Willis, I think that would have been an even better trade because you get some mid-round value and you still get a guy you ultimately ended up wanting anyway. And plus, I think either of those two would have had a bigger impact to the Vikings than what Lewis signed will. And it's not that I think Sign is that bad of a player, I just don't think this was a really good decision at all for the Vikings. Another trade back I do not agree with is the Patriots. I think the biggest need for the Patriots in the first round was a corner. Stephon Gilmore is no longer on the team, along with J.C. Jackson dipping in free agency. There were tons of great corners on the board, like the one the Chiefs ended up taking, Trent McDuffie. So not only did New England trade down and pass on a position of major need, but they make a huge reach on an interior offensive lineman. Like, seriously, the best way to describe this pick was strange. Cole Strange is a great fit for the Patriots, and the Patriots have been awesome with offensive line development, but at 29 and passing on the corner at the same time makes no sense. My favorite part about all of this is the Rams' reaction to the Patriots pick. I mean, seriously, get a load of this.
If as an example, you really just went. Oh, my UT Chattanooga to the first round. Hey, where is
How about that? And we wasted our time watching him thinking he'd be at 104 maybe.
The Packers also made some very questionable decisions in last night's draft. Firstly, why didn't you get a wide receiver? I know that Aaron Rodgers said that none of the first round graded wide receivers were on the board when Green Bay was picking, but you have got to be able to read the room. You see all these teams trading up for wide receivers. You need to do the exact same thing. Olave, J-Mo, and Treylon Burks were all taken by their respective teams because they traded up. The Packers had to come out of this round with a wide receiver 1, and they failed to do that miserably. Not only that, but when they picked at 22, they had 2 great options on the board, edge rusher Jermaine Johnson and linebacker Devin Lloyd. And in classic Packers fashion, they drafted neither and reached on a linebacker. Having Quay Walker over Devin Lloyd is one thing, that's based on personal evaluation, but Green Bay needs edge help. You lost Zadarius Smith in free agency, and you had a golden opportunity to add a top 10 prospect at 22 and you passed on it. Simply unreal. You also could have made the argument that they should have taken George Pickens with one of their picks in the first round, and they didn't. I also don't fully understand the decision for the Ravens to draft Tyler Linderbaum. Like, yes, the dude is the best interior offensive lineman in the draft, and it does fill a hole for the Ravens, and I guess you could also make the best player available argument, but you traded away Marquise Brown to get into that position. And not only that, but you did it way too early. Firstly, let's talk about them actually trading Hollywood. Why? I understand that he requested a trade when the season was over, but you finally started to pass the ball more. You need good receivers for the Ravens passing game to get better. You spent the entire offseason last year trying to upgrade your pass catching core, and now you take a major step back in that department by trading away Brown. But why did Baltimore trade him so early? It felt like almost immediately as they made the Kyle Hamilton pick, they dealt Brown. Why couldn't you have gotten a better gauge at the board before you made the deal? I mean, good for you for getting more value for Brown than what you drafted him at, but this was a fairly questionable move in my opinion. And this also goes for the Cardinals. Like, seriously, you gave up a first round pick for Hollywood Brown? I mean, yeah, he's a good Christian Kirk replacement, and this felt a lot like the GM appeasing Kyler Murray, but seriously, a first round pick? I am actually part of the rare group that thinks Brown is underrated. Sure, he doesn't put up huge numbers, but that's because he has never been in an offense that allows him to do that. I think that this could work out nicely for Brown going into the Cardinals offense, but I seriously cannot believe the Ravens coaxed you into giving up a first round pick for him. So that's it for today's video. Make sure to hit the like button and the subscribe button. It goes a long way towards supporting me and this channel, and I appreciate every single one of you guys. Also, make sure to check out all my other social media links listed down in the description below. I have an Instagram, a TikTok, and a Twitter. So thank you all for watching, and I hope you all have a fantastic day.